Hello everyone. My name is Nazir, and this session I'm gonna talk about some of the expert tactics and tips that can be used during the interview at the U.S. Embassy in your home country. So, mostly I will be talking about students coming from South Asian countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. And I have been asked by some of my friends that why shouldn't I share my experience and some of the tips that can be very helpful and you may find it helpful for your interview. I know some of you will be preparing for the interview and some of you will be thinking of getting education in the US. So I believe these tips would be a kind of helpful for you, and I wish you will find it insightful and helpful. So actually, uh, educational journey at the US is challenging, and at the same time it's quite rewarding. But the first step in order to come to the US, to chase your dream school or dream studies plan, you have to get visa and student visa, which of course like F1 or J1 visa. So uh, embarking on educational journey in the US is definitely a life changing plan, and the interview process at the embassies in your home country plays a crucial role in making this dream a reality. So navigating the USA student visa interview requires a thorough preparation and a clear understanding of the embassy's expectations. I know at the embassy there are a lot of people like the visa officers, and their um, basically in their behavior and mentality are most of the time different, but they definitely follow the rules and regulation of the embassy. So we shouldn't be so much worried about that, whether it depends on the age of a visa officer or not, if he is a age person like 45 or 50, or he is a young, it doesn't matter, but still they have got the rules and they have got the supervisor. So uh, in this case, I'm gonna share some of the tips that can be very helpful while you are having an interview at the US Embassy. So now let's jump into the tips. So the first tip I'm gonna talk about is understanding of the types of visa. What type of visa you are applying? If it's F1, you have to understand the requirements of F1. If it's a J1 exchange programs, you have to understand the requirements for the J1. So there some students are getting confused the requirements for J1 and F1, and they are getting prepared themselves for the F1, but they are applying for J1, or if they are in the J1 category and they're trying to apply for the F1. So do not just confuse these types of visa. You have to prepare yourself for the type of visa you are applying at the US Embassy. It's very important to think about. And the second thing is about research your chosen institution. When you are planning to choose a university in the US, you have to have a thorough research beyond the university. Demonstrate your commitment to your academic pursuit by researching the institution you will be attending. So know about the university program, faculty, and campus culture, and any unique features that attached you to it. So talk about this, you know, when you are having interview with the officer, and he will be impressed by these information that you are talking about. But you have to have the idea if you are asked, so then you can share those information. And the other tip I'm going to share be prepare to explain your study plan. It's very important to have your study plan most of the time for the PhD student, because PhD students are often involved in a research kind of issues, and in order to make sure the visa officer that my research plan is very clear and I'm gonna do this research, and I believe the visa officer will be impressed by your plan. So articulate your study plan very short and concisely. Discuss the courses of you know the study you intend to pursue, and the reasons behind your choice, why you are going to this school, why you are choosing this major. So it's very important to have those. Once you have discussed your study plan, then make sure to align your study plan with your career goals. This is such a important topic in your overall interview, and the visa officer is looking forward to see you are really have the capability to tie your study plan with your career goals. So make sure to do this in a great way, and to have a good understanding of the alignment of this study plan with the career goals. The other important tips is regarding the showcasing financial capability. If you are a private sponsorship, make sure to present the document in a great way. Presented the authentic documents with, if it's a bank statement, if it's a sponsorship letter, or if it's full tuition fee offer. Try to have those documents in your catalog and um, present if it's asked. And as well as I see some of the students, they are having sponsorship from abroad, like from the US. Some of their family members, maybe aunt or somebody else. I think this is not good idea to have a sponsor from the US, um, because I have seen a lot of students, they are choosing sponsors from the US, but they cannot get the visa. As well as if you are a private sponsor, and your family or your brother is sponsoring you, try to have a good reason for that, and know why he or she is sponsoring you, and make sure to deliver that message to the officer that I'm being sponsored by AB because of this, or and because of that. So it's a very good tips also. The other thing would be, which is very important, try to show a strong ties with your home country, family ties, uh, work ties, cultural ties, and friend ties, colleague ties. Whatever you can do is, but come up with a very authentic response, and uh, address the concerns of the embassies, and show that I have a strong ties. I am married, or I have a good job, or I have family, and I have my mom. So familial ties to your country is the most important part in your interview. If you are able to indicate those ties with your home countries, I believe you will get the visa. If you are not, if presume that the visa officer you know think that this guy is eligible, he has got a thorough research plan, a good financial documents presentation, but there was no a really strong ties back home, maybe they will deny the visa. But if you are able to address the embassy's concern regarding the home ties, I believe that you will be issued a visa. And the next topic would be regarding the you know the opportunities uh, of the field you're working in your home, and maybe in the US also. uh, it's most likely that some of the students coming from abroad, they have the chance to stay in the US for 1 year and do their OPT, optional practical training. And uh, through this program they can earn a wealth of experience in their own field. And this is a great opportunity for them to have a work experience from the US. And if you are planning to stay for 1 year after the completion of your educational journey, try to explain that and try to tell the officer, yes, I am planning for the OPT if I get a chance. If not, then tell them that I will not be staying after the completion of my education because I have work, because I have my own plans, and I have a promising letter from my employer, and I will be promoted to this position. So those are good stuff to discuss while you have interview at the embassy. And the next topic. The next step actually then I'm gonna talk about is the uh, try to have multiple practice the interview questions. I believe you can go through Google and write some of the questions you will be asked, or just write why US, why this university, why this specific field. These are these are some of the common questions that will be asked during the interview, and make sure to prepare yourself in a good way to address and answer these questions while asked. And the questions would be like, why this university, why the US, why not UK, and why this specific field, why this course. And these are some of the commonly asked questions you may face while having your own interview. And try to have a mock interview before coming to the embassy, and sit with your brothers and with your mentor, and repeat your interview with them, repeat the answers you prepared for the interview. This will give you a chance to revise, edit, and bring changes in the answers. So mocking interview is such an important tip, and it was very helpful for me personally. So I highly recommend that. The next step would be organize your documents in a proper way. Have a beautiful and good catalog, and put the documents in a sequence. If it is asked, you can just go through the documents easily. You can just pick it up and hand it to the visa officer. So have a documents organization, and this will showcase your attention to detail. And the other tip would be regarding your um, academic gaps or changes. If you are a student and changing your field, or you are a student and want to pursue your master degree or PhD after um, a while, like after 6 years or 7 years, I think like 4 years are not that much issue. But if it's a long distance, I think you will be encounter with this question. So try to you know answer that questions, and you can answer it is like, after the completion of my undergrad, I thought to work and earn some of the practical experience, and that was the reason that I couldn't pursue my master or PhD. But now I have gained a lot of experience from working, and now I want to enhance my study. I want to get my master, and this will give me a new academic adventure, and I think you can definitely so, like that, you can definitely answer the questions about the gap or changing the field. The other important tips would be that most of the students are not considering this in not taking into consideration that's uh, the cultural aspect. If you are trying to prepare yourself for the academic aspect, that's well, that's good, great job, but at the same time try to prepare yourself on the cultural side also, and express genuine enthusiasm. And I believe if you are able to express a genuine enthusiasm for both your academic and cultural path, I believe you will have a great impression on visa officer, and that will be the turning point in your interview. So know the culture, the campus culture, the state you are going to, the city, and try to research about the city, try to research about the state, and have a common idea about the American culture, about the specific state that you're going, like Pennsylvania or Washington, D.C., and Florida, California. Uh, Try to have a common understanding of the culture. And if you talk about the culture while having interview with the U.S. Embassy, they will be definitely having a good feeling about you, and you will leave a positive impression on them. And last but not least, stay calm, confident. Do not if you don't know the answer, try to take a deep breath and come up with the answer which you think is the best for this questions. And so I believe and I hope these are some of the tips that would be helpful uh, mm, for you while having interview at the US Embassy in your home country. I believe by following these tips, you can confidently engage with the interview and interview process and increase your chance of success. And thank you so much for watching the video. And I'm planning to make another video for how to fill in the DS-160, which is the most important part for student visa. If you uh, fill that correctly, like the DS-160, I think you will have a great chance of visa. Thank you.